Well, hello again, Downsview. Good to have the opportunity to speak with you this morning. We are looking forward to Sunday morning, the 2nd of January, which will be the first Sunday of the new year, of course, and looking forward to many of you coming to join us together and ring in the new year, as it were, our last Christmas-esque Sunday, so to speak. In the coming week or so, people start to take down their decorations. Some people leave them up till the 6th of January, what some communions call the Epiphany, when the celebration of the wise men came. But the fact is that many people start to take things down. We'll start to change the decorations in the church. Things will start to be put away. And stores will start to be accepting or starting to accept your Christmas returns. I noticed yesterday as I was wandering through the mall, I always look for a particular coffee calendar, and I try to wait until they're 40% off like they are this week now, but that I haven't waited too long that the supply's gone. So I popped into the mall and there are people everywhere. What I noticed was this time of year, often many stores will say no returns. No returns Boxing Week, which is now, that you can't bring things back until the week after the other side of New Year's. Some stores are taking them back, of course, but a number of them are still not doing that because they don't want the lines clogged up with people returning things. They want people actually coming in and buying things and leaving with new product rather than returning old things, because of course it's the same staff that are doing both of those things. And stores in particular these days, they're doing what they can to catch up from a lot of the hardships that many retailers have certainly endured for the last 2 Christmases now, and they want to keep their bottom line going up. And it was interesting to me because the couple of stores that were taking returns were pretty high-end stores. Lululemon is a store that's a sportswear company. I noticed the Apple store had a lineup way down the block, and the Pandora, I think it's called, is a jewelry company. They had a very long door as well, and a couple of them even had security guards at the door that you could only have 2 or 3 people in the store at all. And when I walk by and I see a line like that, I always giggle because I just think, I'll come back another time. How good a deal would it have to be for me to stand in line with 40 people in front of me? In fact, the other day, Pam and I stopped into an outlet mall as we were on our way back from a quick jaunt down the line a bit. And it was one of these outdoor malls, and it was spitting rain a little bit. Well, there were lineups for the Nike store and a few other stores that were very popular. Literally, there were 60, 70 people in line. And I laughed and I thought, oh boy, myself and many others I would think are thinking, how good a deal could it be that I'm going to stand out here in the spit and rain and wait for an hour, to get something. Now, maybe some of you do that, and good on you. You're welcome to do that if you want. But, all of it hits me that, we will listen to Christmas carols and Christmas movies and good sentiments in Christmas cards and even sermons and teaching times over Christmas time about guarding our hearts against the gifts and loving the gifts more than the giver, right? We had a little video by David Platt on Christmas Eve guarding us, or encouraging us to guard against the sin of covetousness at this time of year in particular, and that we've all grown up with our parents telling us, say thank you for the gift that grandma gave you, or auntie so-and-so, or uncle someone, and you didn't really like the gift, but you had to say thank you, and children have to be taught that, and all of us as grown-ups probably need to return to that more than once, don't we? Because many of us are showing the fact that the gift matters a whole lot more than maybe theoretically we think it does or think it should. Because even the people giving the gifts have stuck the gift receipt in there. If you don't like it, if you don't want it, not if it doesn't fit. It's different. Obviously, if something doesn't work, it doesn't fit in your kitchen and appliance, or the clothing doesn't fit your size, or whatever it might be. Obviously, we make some exchanges. I'm talking about, I'd rather not have this, I'd rather have that. And even though this person thought I should have that, that's not enough for me to keep that. my appreciation level is not high enough with their thought towards me to keep that. And oftentimes people will say, well, I know, but they doesn't matter to them either. They also give you the receipt. And I think, well, it feels to me like we're just perpetuating the problem, because I don't care enough about you to get you something that I think you'd actually like. I take a shot, buy something, throw in the gift receipt and go, well, doesn't like it. It doesn't really matter to me if I get something for them that they like. Now, I know my perspective on these Christmas things. My family gets on me, and maybe I'm a little too harsh on these kind of things, but I've always been concerned that Christmas present buying and gift giving shouldn't be filling an order. I've said to you before that a dear lady, when I was in high school, said to me at a jewelry store when I was buying something for my mom, I think it was Mom's birthday actually, but said, a gift is something you would not buy for yourself. And that's struck with me. It stuck with me because it struck me that that's a whole different category than making the Christmas list. I'm old enough to remember looking at the Sears catalog and, cutting out pictures of things that I wanted to give to my parents and grandparents, and they would go get them. And that's what I wanted for Christmas, right? And so that's what I got for Christmas. And who doesn't want to give something that the other person wants? Well, I'm suggesting it's maybe not as strong as it once was, when we're quick and almost flippant to just throw in the gift receipt, or quick and flippant to go, oh, that's nice, but doesn't matter if I particularly like it or not. I'll just go and exchange it, Boxing Week or otherwise. My concern there is because there's something in the Apostle Paul's letter to the Pastor Timothy at Ephesus, First Baptist Church of Ephesus. Probably wasn't named that, but certainly the church at the city of Ephesus. And when Paul writes to Timothy, who's essentially pastoring this congregation, at the last chapter of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, he says in verse 17, as for the rich in this present age. So listen up down. So this is exactly us, right? If you have a home and a car, you're in the top 96 percentile, I think it is, of the world's wealth. So I don't have a house right now, and some of you don't, but I do have a car. And a lot of us have houses and cars, and we're rich. We don't like to think so, but relative to the world standards, we are rich. Paul is talking directly to us. As for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, not to be proud, not to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly, right, play on the word there, richly provides us with everything to enjoy. They are to do good, to be rich, third time rich, in good works, and to be generous, and to be ready to share. Thus, hope there's an effect of this, storing up treasure for themselves as a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of that which is truly life. He's saying, let's be careful, rich of this present world. Let's be careful, Downsview, that what we're reaching out to take as life is truly life. And to do that, that means to guard against reaching for something that is simply not real life. It's not to be enjoyed as if it's a pointing forward to eternity. That's what true life is, real eternity. He's saying there's things that distract us from viewing the gospel that way, from viewing Christ that way, from viewing the promise of Christianity as that which is truly life. Things that are just of this temporary short life can seem more valuable. So easy. So easy to get stuck and hung up on these things, isn't it? So easy for us to just think, it's maybe true, as the Grinch said, that maybe Christmas perhaps means just a little bit more, that the true meaning of Christmas doesn't come from a store. But boy, it's hard, isn't it? Some of you know what I mean. you did not get what you wanted for Christmas. And what you get, you're really struggling to like. And the person who gave it to you, you're wondering where their head's at. What was he thinking? Right, ladies? What in the world was she on about, guys, right? I don't know where my parents' heads are at. Why would they buy me? It's easy to fall into that. He says, don't be haughty. Don't set your hope on the uncertainty of Christmas presents. Isn't that a fair paraphrase? The uncertainty of riches. You can't be certain that it's going to go the direction you want. You can't be sure that the thing you got's going to continue to work. It's not going to break. I shouldn't have to replace it. Things don't last like they once did. We all know those things. He says, set their hopes on God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. Doesn't that sound like everything that I need to enjoy? God will provide that for us. Sometimes the things that I need are defined by the things that I get. It's a pretty good diagnostic in some ways, isn't it? If my God does all things well, and he provides me with certain things and not others, then it seems to me like the things that I really need, if he's promised to richly provide me with all things that I need to enjoy, then what I get could be seen in a really different way. You know, even that lame gift from grandma, guys, right? Even that thing that your husband was just, you wonder where his brain was at. There's something godly about being grateful for the gift because of the giver. And he says, when you do that, you turn your attention from this world to the next, because you realize God is the one who's given us everything that we have, and we're to enjoy it. And we're to enjoy it because of the one who's given it to us, because the whole point of God's gifts is to point back to the one who's given it. And so the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ can be seen and enjoyed in the good things that God gives to us, and those things that work good for us, even the challenging and difficult things and times that God is pleased in his wisdom to bring into our lives. So Downsview, stick close to the Lord, cling to the gospel. See you later this week. All right, cheers.